Hey there, folks, it's Bill Ricardi, and welcome to my weekly Patreon update. It's cold and miserable out there today, raining in Belfast, so let's not talk about the weather. Let's talk about what we've got accomplished this week. I'm going to try to keep this very positive. There is a negative note in there, but we're going to end it on a positive as well. The process for Cadence is really humming along. We have finished the first fight scene. We have gone into the first club slash fully fleshed out romance scene. That chapter is entirely done. We are now using some more of the iconic New York locations. Now, I've been to New York before, of course, but that was years and years ago. I haven't even been, to the United States in over a decade. So, with that in mind, I've had to draw on first-person accounts. I've had to draw on news articles. I've had to draw on statistics, and of course, I've had to draw on knowledge from my family and friends who have been there. So things have changed there. The entire landscape, the entire attitude, the gang situation, everything there has changed. So I've really had to modify my knowledge. So a lot of research went into that, and a lot of interviews and things of that nature. But now we can more accurately portray what the feeling in New York City is like, what the popularity of certain attractions are, and what have you. So we are able to include not only the general happenings, that could happen on a day-to-day basis, of course, fantasized, but we're able to include actual locations and fictional locations, such as a created club that is going to be a centerpiece for the whole DJ Beats visit and what have you that was foreshadowed in the first book. All that's in progress. We're having a really good time. Right now I'm in the middle of an icky flashback that Isidore is experiencing. Isidore sees something iconic in New York City, and that puts him in a flashback about kind of a more supernatural side of things. So that's all cool, and that's in progress. That's where we pick up next week. So what had me down this week? A Princess of Last Resort was on sale, 99-cent sale, and the advertising simply did not work. It's disappointing because we got this one on discount because the last advertising with this particular firm also wasn't working very well, and they gave me a bunch of reasons why, and I tried to correct those reasons for the advertising for this, and they gave me a discount, and it simply was not worth it, and I was feeling really bummed because I wanted a top 100 for Princess of Last Resort, and I didn't get it. And in fact, I didn't even get top 100 in genre, which was a real bummer. And I'm hoping to turn all that around with some guerrilla marketing, but I was down in the dumps for quite some time. So what turned all that around for me? What turned all that around for me was actually a legal obligation, but a legal obligation that not every single indie author and publisher gets, simply because some of them are not at the scale where that invitation gets extended, or perhaps they didn't go through the correct legal process, or for whatever reason, we were singled out, which was actually a nice thing. And that obligation slash honor was an invitation from all the national libraries, including the British Library, to submit a copy of Rhythm for their stacks. Now again, this is legally something they can do to any author, and legally something that every author should provide as long as they're serious about providing physical copies of books here in the United Kingdom. But it's not something that every indie author is either invited to do or does. Either they haven't gone through the correct process, or they're too small to get it done. They can't afford to get it done, etc., etc. But we are now able to provide books directly to the British Library, and the top 5 libraries around, national libraries basically, around the United Kingdom and Ireland as well. Trinity down in Ireland. And we're already in the Belfast Library, so that covers kind of all of the national libraries all around the UK and Ireland. And that was huge for me. That was a huge pickup. The fact that they looked at me and they said, yeah, he's big enough. He's done all the process correctly. Let's get him in the libraries. And it wasn't the honor of receiving that letter, because, like I said, it's a legal obligation, something you have to do. It was the fact that my legacy is going to be out there, somewhere. In one of these libraries, someone's just going to pick up my book and say, who knows how far in the future, and say, hey, who's this? What did he bring to the world? And that was a real honor. So there you go. That's what turned my entire week around. This weekend, what are we looking at? We are looking at continuing the scriptification of rhythm into a Hollywood blockbuster film, or into a series of some sort. I wouldn't be opposed, to an 8 to 10 part series that covers rhythm, and then the next season, being Cadence, and the next season being the third book of the saga, etc., etc., etc. I've right now have 6 books planned, 4 outlined, 1 fully written, and 1 about a third of the way done. So with that in mind, we're going to have plenty of material for anyone who wants to do a series, if they want to do a series. But there's also plenty of material for films. So it just depends on the way they want to do this. We're going to start shopping it around probably within 7 weeks or so. It'll be finished and ready to shop. So I'm really excited about that. That's what I'll be working on this weekend. And then just trying to relax from the disappointing sales week and what have you, and try to get everything turned around starting next week. That's it from me. Thank you so much for your time. The information about my Patreon will be at the bottom of the YouTube video, should you wish to become a patron, get access to all of my books, etc., etc. All the information is on the Patreon page. Thank you so much, and have a great weekend.